Welcome everyone to the Job Corps information session. We're going to go ahead and learn more about the Job Corps training program, eligibility, and details about the program that will help you make a decision if Job Corps is a good fit for you. Let's go ahead and dive in. What is Job Corps? So we're on the mission to setting highly motivated young people on the pathway to education and training for successful careers in the nation's fastest growing industries. This is a great time to get started with the Job Corps program. It is completely tuition free for both the job training and education portions of Job Corps. We're helping young people get a better job, make more money, and take full control of your life. The goal here is becoming independent. We are funded by the United States Department of Labor, and we have since 1964. We're committed to offering a safe, drug-free environment where you can learn, train, and succeed. Who's eligible to apply for Job Corps? This is a great question and one we get often. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the eligibility criteria for the Job Corps program. First is the age criteria. You have to be 16 to apply for Job Corps, and when you're towards the latter age range of 24, we need to get you on campus before your 25th birthday in order to complete the entire program. We also want to mention that if you're 25 years old or above, we can still help you apply for Job Corps if you have a documented disability. You must also be legal to work in the United States, and that means we need documentation to prove your eligibility for this criteria. That would include a social security card and birth certificate, but there's other forms we could use as well. You must also be low income. There's a question mark by this one because this could be discussed individually with your admissions counselor moving forward. Generally speaking, you can be eligible for the program for low income if you are not working a job and you're over the age of 18, if you're working under a certain amount of money, so you're not making a significant amount of money in your current job, or if you're of any age and you're supported by public assistance programs like SNAP, Oregon Health Plan, Apple Healthcare for Medicaid, and there's other programs you could also qualify. When it comes to being a minor applicant, we must have a parent or legal guardian sign paperwork with you in the application process. If you're unaccompanied, in foster care, or supported by the McKinney-Vento Act, this may not apply to you. If you are court involved, pending court dates, or you have significant fines or fees over $500, and if you're currently on court supervision, this could mean probation or parole, we need to make sure that you've completed those things before you attend Job Corps. So please make sure to have conversations with your admissions counselor if you don't think you're eligible or have questions about your eligibility for the program. Now the benefits. These are the reasons listed why Job Corps is a great fit for a ton of people. The first is a career technical training that we offer. This is trade school essentially, so you're going to have hands-on learning. You're going to get certified in training options of your choice. You're also there to complete a GED or a high school diploma if you haven't done so before the program. You are also going to be living at a Job Corps campus that has housing, meals, and basic medical provided. We offer everybody a clothing allowance as well, just to obtain clothing if you need it. The living stipend is offered again for every student. This is $40 every 2 weeks if you're attending our program. We also offer a driver's education program. This would mean we can help you get your permit, driver's training, and driver's license if you would like to when you're in the program. We have college opportunities, so college placement programs, as well as opportunities to be supported by a college while you're at a Job Corps center. We also help with job placement assistance when you're done with Job Corps. And finally, transition money. So we pay you to graduate our program with the benefits that you've earned at a Job Corps center. The money ranges from about $500 to $1,200 depending on what you've earned in the program. Now, there are employers that we work with that are really looking for employees that have these soft skills, so to speak. We call them career success standards at Job Corps. This is a list of things that you're going to learn when you're in the program if you haven't already. The first is workplace relationships and ethics, communication skills, personal growth and development, interpersonal skills, information management, multicultural awareness, career and personal planning, and independent living. Again, the goal here is to boost up skills if you don't have them already. We've made it to our first of 2 Great Expectation videos that we're going to play in this session today. So hang tight and then we'll discuss more about the program when it's over.
Hi, my name is Desiree.
Hi there, I'm Michelle.
My name is Cedric.
And my name is Alicia. Welcome.
First and foremost, we want to say congratulations on taking the initiative to learn more about Job Corps and what the program can offer you.
As you can see, we are all very different and come from really different backgrounds.
But we all have one thing in common. We're all actual students at Job Corps.
And we're all grateful to be here.
And to be a part of a supportive community that is helping us build better futures for ourselves.
This is the first in a series of 3 videos that you will be shown about Job Corps safety and security policies.
And we're going to be speaking directly to potential students like you about the program and expectations for student conduct and behavior.
Student safety is a very important part of campus life. Job Corps considers safety and security its #1 priority.
So all students are expected to abide by a code of conduct that supports education and training and a healthy and positive campus environment.
First, every single Job Corps center has a zero-tolerance policy for violence and drugs.
That means that you will be required to leave the program if you're involved in violence of any kind or if you test positive for drug use, possess any illegal drugs, or possess weapons.
So, let's break that down a bit more. You will be terminated from Job Corps if you fail a drug test. All new students are given a drug test when they arrive on campus and may receive drug tests at other times. You also may not use, possess, distribute, or sell drugs or drug paraphernalia on center or while on any Job Corps activity on or off center. Some examples of paraphernalia include pipes, bongs, roach clips, etc.
You may not use, possess, or sell alcohol products on center or while engaged in any Job Corps activity on or off center.
Steal from another student or staff.
Physically or sexually assault another student or staff member.
Bring a gun or any sort of weapon on campus.
Commit a crime on or off center. These are some, but not all of the reasons you would be terminated from Job Corps. So just remember to keep it positive, stay focused on your career goals, and keep it moving.
All of these rules are in place to make sure students like you and me can learn and train in a safe and positive environment.
Job Corps' main purpose is to prepare us for the future and give us the skills we need to build successful careers for ourselves.
And in return, they asked us to act like mature adults and treat our fellow students, instructors, counselors, and everyone else on center with respect.
We want you and everyone around you safe and comfortable during your time at Job Corps.
Job Corps is a serious program.
Of course, we're allowed to relax and have fun, and we do. I made wonderful friends here and have lots of great memories.
But we ultimately share the same goal, to learn and make a serious commitment to our futures.
So if you think you can follow these rules and are really ready to come to Job Corps, then Job Corps is ready for you.
Take it from me. After I graduate, I plan on furthering my education with the ultimate goal of becoming an RN.
And the path to all our goals starts right here at Job Corps.
You may have some questions or concerns about your ability to comply with Job Corps rules and regulations.
If so, talk to your admissions counselor to make sure you're making the right decision for you.
So congratulations again on thinking about your future. You've made a great decision to get started and do your research. In today's 21st century labor market, a career pathway is more important than ever. Job Corps can be that first step.
Job Corps, careers begin here.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the safety policy. So we do have a zero tolerance for anything listed on this slide now. I do want to highlight 2 things. First is our weapons policy. It's really important, you know, that we do understand that this program has a multitude of personalities and folks coming in. We also understand that if you are a person that has a multi-tool or a pocket knife on your person, that could be a regular occurrence in your everyday life. However, when it comes to Job Corps, any weapon, including a pocket knife or multi-tool, is considered zero tolerance, and you will be terminated from the program immediately upon entry. We just want to make sure to highlight these things so you know what to expect. The next thing I'm going to make sure to highlight here on our zero tolerance policy list is the drug and alcohol policy. We want to make sure you understand and can make the commitment to be sober in this program. This program has a lot to offer you, and I think that it would be a good thing for you in terms of sacrifice if you do struggle with drugs and alcohol, that this program could provide more opportunity for you. And we just, again, want to make sure to set the expectation that drugs and alcohol, no matter your age in this program, is not tolerated, possession, use, or distribution. Everything else on this list should make sense to you, but if you do have questions, please make sure to get those questions answered before you apply for the program. What else do we expect of you? First, really basic things here is to be respectful, have a positive attitude, and then complete your work assignments on center while sharing a dorm and keeping it clean and fully participating in what this program has to offer you. The effort you guys put into Job Corps is the result that you're going to find at the end. And hopefully that means a really successful career or pathway towards a career of your choice. Now, I do want to make sure to highlight the dorm life. I know this living on campus can be new for people. It could also be something that you're afraid of, but I do want to highlight a few things just to make sure you're more comfortable with the living situation at Job Corps. You will have roommates. On average, 3 other people are going to share a room with you. So typically we have 4 people per room. The bathroom tends to be attached to the bedroom itself. So most situations will have 4 beds, 4 locked wardrobes, and the bathroom attached. Of course, with privacy curtains and doors with that lock are standard in our program. The community and lounge areas are available for all students because the only people allowed in your bedroom is going to be you and your roommates. So anyone else you want to spend time with, you can do so in the common and lounge areas. Laundry facilities are shared. That means you're going to have a laundry day and you're going to participate in laundry yourself. We will have somebody or a company that's going to be cleaning laundry in terms of your sheets, but otherwise that is a responsibility of yours. We have shared cleaning responsibilities as well throughout the campus, including the dorm. We have a daily room inspection and other schedules that will be provided to you by our residential living staff. What does a typical day look like at Job Corps? So I know you're probably curious what it looks like to attend this program. That's why you're here today, learning more about what the typical Job Corps experience is like. I do want to mention you're going to wake up around 6 o'clock. You have an hour for breakfast after getting ready, and then you'll start your day at 8 o'clock. You have until 4 o'clock to complete your career and academic training for the day with a lunch break. Then you'll have personal and free time before dinner. Dinner is an hour in the evening from 5 to 6, generally speaking. Then you'll have a dorm meeting and free time. After free time, you need to check back into your dorm around 10 o'clock. Then the lights will be turned out shortly after. The weekend and holiday schedule means that there's no training. You will have a weekend pass available to you after 30 days of successful program. That means about a month into your program, you'll be able to take a weekend pass home. I do want to make note, if you have a personal vehicle, you're not allowed to bring that to the Job Corps Center. So anybody in your family or friends that's able to come pick you up for a weekend pass, they're welcome to do so again after 30 days. What about free time? So this is not all business at Job Corps. There's also time that you get to spend with friends on campus and hang out to relax. Of course, also room to get off of the campus locations. On-center activities include mostly the Student Activity Center. This activity center houses lots of fun rooms, including a game room, music room, art room. They also have table games, air hockey, foosball, and billiards are very common at Job Corps, as well as team sports that you could get involved in. That would generally include basketball, soccer, and softball, although campuses do get creative with their team sports. They also have a weight room and gym at every location so you guys can participate in fitness and other activities. Now, off-center activities, the most common way to get off campus is the shopping trips. Every 2 weeks, when you get your payday in terms of your living stipend, you'll be able to sign up for a shopping trip into town. There's also dinner trips and outdoor recreation in order to get off campus, and we do encourage it. We want to make sure you guys have equal time spent on campus and then the ability to get off when it's necessary. I do want to mention one thing that is unique to the Forest Service Job Corps centers. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but for now, the student employment that's offered through the Forest Service Job Corps centers that I'm going to speak on have two options, fire crew and camp crew. Just a little more detail about this. You do have to be 18 to get into the student employment when you're at the Job Corps centers. You are also going to put your traditional training on pause, meaning if you don't want to be a wildland forest firefighter for training itself, you're welcome to still participate in student employment and put whatever training that you're actually in on pause. You'll be fully trained for this position. Again, it's more of an assistant role, and it's not necessarily you want to be a wildland firefighter for the rest of your life, essentially. You also get paid hourly. And 1 to 2 weeks at a time, you're going to be going on trips, again, that are paid hourly. So the earning potential in some of these student employment positions are between $5,000 and $20,000. This is significant for a lot of our students, as much of them are going to be leaving the program and starting their life, and having that extra money in a savings account or even purchasing their first vehicle in cash is really impactful when you're starting your life. Now, I do want to walk through from start to finish what Job Corps process looks like. First with outreach and admissions, then into your preparation period, your development period, and transition period. Let me highlight those a little bit further now. Your outreach and admissions, this is the time where you're learning about Job Corps. You guys are here today at the information session. You're gathering documents to apply next. So again, as I spoke earlier about your eligibility for the program, we do need your birth certificate, your social security card, and other income verification. That could mean a public assistance benefit letter, but of course, you can discuss that with your admissions counselor to see how many more documents you may need to complete eligibility. Then you'll meet with your admissions counselor in an eligibility meeting and interview. Your admissions counselors will be assigned to you. If you don't know who that person is, you should receive an email that has more information, and you can inquire about your admissions counselor then, or they'll be reaching out to you very soon. The center and training options are up to you. You get to pick one Job Corps center to apply for and 3 training options to try out when you're there. Please be sure to update your contact information with your admissions counselor, as this is really the only way we're going to be able to reach you to talk about a start date for the program. Next is when you do get a start date for the Job Corps program, you're going to enter in the career preparation period. You're going to be entering the program with a group of new students, so you're not going to be the only one that's new. There's between 5 and 20 students in each input group. You're going to complete 60 days of career preparation class with your group. Your first week will include introduction to center life, a full medical exam from the nurse, a drug test, which is a urine analysis for drugs, academic testing to make sure that you're at the level that we need you to be in terms of math and reading, followed by a MyPace program, which is Job Corps' creative way to do career exploration on campus. This will also include trade trials. Again, you get to try out some of the trades at the Job Corps center of your choice. This is really helpful for many students, especially if you're not quite sure what you want to train in this program, and that's okay. Then you'll receive your uniforms for training. This is going to be industry recognized and standard uniforms that we'll provide for you. So you don't need to bring any kind of uniform or tool to campus, including footwear. Like, for example, if you're in the construction industry with Job Corps, we will prepare you with a t-shirt, jeans essentially, and steel-toed boots, of course, and other safety gear, depending on your training option. The career development period is the next and the bulk of the time that you're at Job Corps. You're going to be completing your training benchmarks. You're going to earn industry standard certifications in your trade. This is, again, very impactful. And the fact is you're going to earn multiple certifications when you're in Job Corps, not just one gold star that you earn something. Again, multiple things you get to learn, which is really fascinating and will help booster your resume when you're applying for jobs. Your academics means you're going to finish your high school diploma or GED if you haven't done so before Job Corps. Then you're going to do on-the-job training, work-based learning, and community service projects. What this means is we're trying to get you as much experience in the field as possible before you start applying for jobs. Then we're going to help you prepare for independent living and job search. This leads us to our last and final period of the Job Corps program, which is called Career Transition. As in its name, we will have a career transition specialist that's going to be helping you plan for housing, transportation, and employment. They will also help you with interview skills training if you need it. We're going to send you job leads in this part of the program. Again, you're still supported by Job Corps, so this means you could very well have a job before you leave the program physically. We're also going to help you apply for college or the military. Whatever your goals line up to be, we want to meet you there. And then most exciting part about this program is graduation. We do have a full cap and gown ceremony for every single student who graduates Job Corps, even if you've already done one. We want to invite all your family and friends and celebrate you for this awesome and fantastic accomplishment of completing Job Corps training and education. After graduation, you're probably wondering what happens, but we do provide help for you for 12 months with your career transition specialist in your back pocket, ready to help you at any turning point in your career for 12 months post-graduation. We will also have you take 2 paid surveys at 12 months and 6 months post-graduation. Now let me dive in really quick here to 6 Job Corps centers that I want to highlight that are partnered with the United States Forest Service. These are centers in Oregon and Washington states. And again, these are partnered Job Corps centers with the United States Forest Service, the benefit being the student employment that I mentioned a minute ago. There are 3 other Job Corps centers in Oregon and Washington you're welcome to apply for. That is Tongue Point Job Corps Center in Astoria, Springdale Job Corps Center in Troutdale, Oregon, and Cascades Job Corps Center in Sedro-Woolley, Washington. Let's dive into these Forest Service Job Corps centers first. The Angel Job Corps centers are located on the Oregon coast near Newport and Yachats, Oregon. They offer bricklayer, carpentry, painting, plumbing, urban forestry, and auto maintenance and light repair. Columbia Basin Job Corps centers in Moses Lake, Washington. They offer carpentry, cement masonry, facilities maintenance, painting, plastering, office administration, culinary arts, certified nurse assistant, pharmacy technician, and Cisco computer networking. The Curlew Job Corps Center is in Curlew, Washington. They offer bricklayer, carpentry, cement masonry, painting, welding, forestry conservation, and firefighting. The Fort Simcoe Job Corps Center is in White Swan, Washington. They offer bricklayer, carpentry, heavy construction equipment operator, heavy truck driving, heavy construction equipment mechanic, and auto maintenance and light repair. The Timberlake Job Corps Center is in Estacada, Oregon. They offer welding, auto maintenance, light repair, carpentry, electrical, painting, culinary arts, and forestry conservation and firefighting. Wolf Creek Job Corps Center is in Glide, Oregon. They offer welding, carpentry, cement masonry, office administration, culinary arts, and forestry conservation and firefighting. I do want to mention before we play our last video that you can apply for any of those locations, including the ones I mentioned at the beginning of that are not listed or highlighted today in the session. So please make sure to talk to your admissions counselor about all your options. They'll have a nice big list for you and they'll help guide you in the right direction. Finally, let's play our last Great Expectations video and then we'll end the session.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
I'm Cedric.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Desiree. Thanks for joining us again to learn more about Job Corps.
This is the second video about student conduct in Job Corps, and today we are going to give you even more information.
Information about Job Corps Student Code of Conduct and the Zero Tolerance Policy.
We just want to make sure you are completely aware ahead of time what is and what is not allowed on a Job Corps campus.
One of the most common questions that applicants like you have is, are there a lot of rules at Job Corps?
Well, to be honest, the simple answer to that question is yes.
There definitely are rules that students are expected to follow while they are in the program.
But think of it like this: employers also have policies, rules, and requirements about conduct.
Whether you work for private industry, a nonprofit, your own corporation, or the government, especially the government, you must adhere to the rules.
Job Corps teaches employability also, along with job skills and education.
Any employer that would hire you would expect you to abide by their own rules and policies.
And just as any employer would fire you if you broke their rules, Job Corps will dismiss you from the program if you break the rules.
We know we went over the zero tolerance policy in the previous video.
But we're gonna go over it again because it's super important.
We're also going to give you some actual examples to help explain it a little better.
So as we mentioned before, every single Job Corps center has a zero tolerance policy for violence and drugs.
And you will be required to leave the program if you
Fail a drug test. All new students are given a drug test when they arrive on campus and may receive drug tests at other times. You also may not use, possess, distribute, or sell drugs or drug paraphernalia on center or while on any Job Corps activity on or off center. Some examples of paraphernalia include pipes, bongs, roach clips, etc.
You may not use, possess, or sell alcohol products on center or while engaged in any Job Corps activity on or off center.
Steal from another student or staff.
Physically or sexually assault another student or staff member.
Bring a gun or any sort of weapon on campus.
Commit a crime on or off center.
I should also mention that every center may do a random room search and drug test at any time. And if they find anything illegal or against policy, or if you fail a random drug test, you will be dismissed from the program.
These are some, but not all of the reasons you would be terminated from Job Corps. So just remember to keep it positive, stay focused on your career goals, and keep it moving.
So those rules are pretty straightforward, right?
Any student who violates the zero tolerance policy in any way will be removed from the program.
And that student will not be allowed to come back or reapply to Job Corps.
So when it comes to violence and drugs on center, the rules are clear. Don't risk it.
There are situations where you might get a second chance, but as we said before, don't risk it.
When you think about all the different things Job Corps gives us,
Like a place to live, food, a living allowance, and of course, access to the training education skills we need to start a career.
So then, I think it's more than a fair trade to ask us to respect their policies, follow their rules, and appreciate the different opportunities the program offers.
Trust me, Job Corps is worth it.
Job Corps has already changed my life.
I've learned so much more about myself than I expected to, and I already have more confidence in myself and about my future than I did when I first entered the program 6 months ago.
And none of this would have been possible if Job Corps didn't have rules in place.
Rules keep us safe and protected so we can focus on our personal and professional goals.
So we're here to tell you that Job Corps works.
But only if you are willing to put in the work too.
I learned how to work in a team and put trust in other people.
I learned how to communicate better and deal with awkward or uncomfortable situations.
And most importantly, I learned that if I stay focused on my goals at Job Corps, then I know I am on the right path to building a successful career.
So, if you are ready to make a serious commitment to your future,
and you're ready to commit to following Job Corps' rules and policies,
then Job Corps is ready for you.
And remember, you can always talk to an enrollment specialist if you have any questions.
or concerns about the zero tolerance policy, or concerns about your eligibility to join the program.
joining Job Corps will easily be one of the best decisions you'll ever make.
Job Corps, careers begin here.
Okay, so you're probably wondering again at this point what the application process for Job Corps looks like. I do want to highlight a few things just so everyone's on the same page. It does take some time to get into Job Corps. It's not an immediate process, although we do have every other week people starting the Job Corps program, and there's no deadline to apply. Please remain kind and respectful in this process. We have a team that's working really hard to get applications processed. So as we move forward, please again remain kind and respectful. Also, I do want to mention if you need something to do in the next couple months as you get through the application process for Job Corps, please remember to stay in school, find employment if you're able to, or volunteer. Try and keep yourself busy during this process and don't put your life on hold. The next thing you're going to be doing is meeting with an admissions counselor virtually. Again, that's for the eligibility and interview meeting. So again, if you have any questions, please make sure to get with your admissions counselor and they'll be able to answer any questions you have about the application process. I do want to say thank you so much for listening to this presentation today about the Job Corps program. I'm happy that you're here. This is a very impactful program and it has a lot of great benefits. So please consider telling someone about this program or applying yourself. Have a great rest of your day.